Excuse me. Guess what time it is? What is that?
That's one of his original buildings, I believe. Looks like it might be...
For Boston?
Boston. I think it says...
It's hard to see with the clouds, babe. Tilt that.
Washington Street.
Look at that. Oh, wow. And that's where this came from, this fine furniture?
I believe so.
That's really cool. Look at this beautiful piece. This federal dresser came off of Facebook Marketplace for $40. It's been in a barn. It is missing trim, as you can see there. Pretty sure I can replicate that super easy, like really, really easy. All the drawer pulls are there. The drawers work really good. Has a real pretty rope detail on it. The drawers are in amazing condition. Dovetail. This one's on an angle. This one's on an angle. The dresser does curve a bit, but it is in really, really good shape as far as the insides of the drawers go. It slightly smells like a barn. Not awful, but a little bit. That's why we're out in the sunshine. The top has some gouges and stains, and it's just absolutely ruined. There's some good gouges down the sides as well. Legs are in decent condition. They just kind of need to be sanded a bit. I love the fluted detail on the front. I think that looks really, really pretty. And then this foot needs to have some Bondo repair done as well. So look at that. Pretty sure I can fix that. It's just a matter of, do I want it there or not? Gotta think about that one. Overall, other than like serious, gouges and like huge gouges, that's a big one. It's a solid piece, and that's what I look for when it comes to my pieces. I also look for the condition of the drawers. Are they stained? Do they smell? Do they work good? The hardware, having all the original hardware is also a big bonus, and scoring this piece was really good. I had to do a little molding, shaping there. There's nicks everywhere, little bites of it out that I want to replace. Scott got me new scrubbers for my power tools, which is a game changer for someone like me with rheumatoid arthritis. Everything I do with my hands hurts, but I push through because this is what I love. So whenever I can have a little shortcut like this to make it easier, I am totally down for it. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use a little bit of my simple green, and we are going to scrub this down and then let it sit in this beautiful sunshine to dry. The sun will also remove that very slight barn odor, and it is a very slight one, thank goodness, because I've smelt some stuff come out of barns and it's like, ugh. This is not one of them. This just has a little bit of a tint. I think it's been in there for like 20 years, so to be expected. That's a big crow. I feel like I'm gonna get attacked by a crow. Where's my roosters when you need them? Let's clean this piece up and get this decoupage going, because I am just as excited to see the end result as you guys are, because I don't know which way it's gonna go yet. I have a few ideas, but I'm not solid on any of them, so I am going to be just as surprised as you are when I'm done with this. Real time though. And I do number all of the drawers because it's very important that these go back into exactly where they came from. They like it that way.
Talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see.
I'm gonna let everything dry here in the sun, and I will be back later.
On a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same things you can see.
I put some thought into it, and I'm not going to recreate the bottom. I'm actually going to take the remaining pieces off. There's little nails in there. I'm going to get them out as well.
I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Could be 20 minutes or an hour or two. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk.
I'm going to sand the areas I want to put Bondo on by hand. This kind of opens the wood up a little bit and gives the Bondo something to really bite onto. When used properly, Bondo will last like forever, unless you smash into it and really roughhouse with it. But for a normal wear and tear in an everyday type situation like this, done correctly, Bondo will last. I love it. I personally like using wood Bondo, but I have been known to just go in my husband's shop and grab his Bondo because he has way more than I do. I want to just stress that people are using way too much activator. You only need 2% of the entire mixture. Whatever the first amount you plop down is, you only need 2% of that, which isn't a lot. If you put too much activator in it, you're actually over processing the Bondo. And at that point, you risk shrinkage, cracking, failure, nothing you want to deal with. So you don't need to use a ton of activator. It is 2% to the total mass of what you used for the first part. Little tip from me to you. Well, little tip from Scott to you, but I'll take credit too. It's all good. He's not here. We won't tell him, will we? I'm going to apply my Bondo to the areas that need filling in, such as the bottom and some of these nicks and dings that are on the feet and on the sides. I mix it up into small amounts because Bondo hardens real quick. While it's curing, I'm going to actually take the drawers outside and give them a scuff sand. The drawer fronts are in great condition, so I don't need anything harsher than a 220, and I'm just doing this to get a little bite on there so that my primer will adhere really, really good to the surface. Personally, I don't like sanding in my studio, but sometimes I just don't have any other choice, like right now. I can't pick this up by myself and move it outside, and I don't want to risk breaking a leg trying to do it. So I'm just going to use my surf prep, and I'm going to use my shop vac, and it does really keep the dust down. I am going to sand all of the parts on the body of this piece that I put the Bondo onto and get it nice and smooth. I want to get some primer on my piece, and for this I'm going to use my Bullseye 123 primer. Now, I like my primers tinted gray, and I do use white primer. My Sticks is a white primer, but when it comes to actually using colors, I prefer to have the gray base. And the reason for that is because the gray base actually makes the colors more vibrant. The problem is they don't come gray. You have to have them tinted. And I'll tell you from experience, Lowe's doesn't know how to do it unless you get the right person who's been there for 50 years and truly knows the paint department. Home Depot cannot do it unless, of course, the same situation applies there. I went to my local Ace Hardware and I talked to them about it, and they explained to me that there is no formula anywhere in a computer that tells you how to tint a primer. Even though it says tintable, there's nothing in the computer that tells you how to do it. It's something that you're taught. And thankfully, someone taught the people at my local Ace Hardware. So they were in fact able to tint my primer to a beautiful shade of gray, and I'm gonna get it on this piece. Quite honestly, this is probably going to be a 3-layer primer on this. I want to make sure that those tannins are sealed. I want to make sure I have full coverage, so when I put my decoupage on there and when I put my color on there, it's not going to bleed through, because it would bleed through the colors I plan on using, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen. That will ruin my piece, that'll ruin my day, that'll ruin my mood for the whole night. Nobody wants that. I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna use a brush to get into all those nooks and crannies, and then I'm gonna switch over to my mini roller. These are by Purdy. This video is not sponsored by them, but it could be. I just passing on a great product to you guys. I love the Purdy rollers with the mirror finish. It gives you the best Ultra Glide finish there is. It's equivalent to the sprayer without the hassle of a sprayer, because I have a sprayer, but the cleanup and setup and adjustments drives me nuts. And I only have so much patience for a project before I'll lose my temper, and my spray gun is one of those things. My husband, he can like whip that thing together, adjust it, clean it, the whole 9 yards, because he's been using them for 40 years. Me, I want to throw the thing against a wall most of the time, so I'm going in with my roller. While I'm rocking out, I am going to actually get 3 coats onto this piece, and I'm going to let it sit and cure. I need to get some paint to finish this project, and I am going to take you to one of my all-time favorite places right here in my hometown. Just a short drive away is the most darling little store I have ever been into. It's called Rekindled Home. These 2 amazing ladies basically do exactly what I do, but they have a way better storefront. Check this place out. This is one of the most yummiest stores ever. I wish you could smell how good it smells in here. Look at their beautiful pieces. I love coming here. I like that. They have everything, and it just, it smells so good. Look at this. Beautiful. Look at this. Oh, they do an amazing job here. They do the same things that I do. They just happen to have a much more fabulous place to display it in. This is what we're here for. The paint room. Look at that. How amazing. I need this. I need like all of this in my studio. This is called goals. What I need to do is find something that I can put with that. I have greens and I have other colors and other tones. What I don't have is a yellow. So we're gonna take that. I think that one's like real close. What do you guys think? I'm gonna get this one. And Faintly in the background of the decoupage paper, there is script writing, and I happen to have a script writing stencil. So I decided to give those top three drawers a little extra something something, and I'm going to use my embossing paste by Fusion. I'm going to apply it onto a very wide spatula, and I'm going to drag it across, filling in the area on the top of the drawers. I'm going to have to let this dry because it's going to take two stencils to complete each drawer, but it has to be dry in between. And this is just going to add something really cool and a little bit extra to the piece. I set my decoupage on the piece to get an idea of where I want it positioned, and I'm going to use a pencil and put some light marks there. I'm going to use those marks to know where to paint white. You want to always have a very light, bright surface behind your decoupage, such as white. It makes it pop better, the colors show up better, and all of those little details inside of those beautiful papers really show up against something white. So I need to fill in this area with white so I can get it on. I decided to paint the areas around the white with that new colored lichen that we picked up down at Rekindled Home. That's kind of the background of the paper, and I want to have it on there without having to go around the paper, even though I will be adding and blending and doing all that. I just feel like putting it on now and coating these drawers is the way to go, so that's what I'm doing. Starting with the center and using my Elmer's glue, I added the decoupage, smoothing out as I went. The edges have been torn. I always tear my decoupages down. That keeps the color visible and the white underneath doesn't show through like a halo. This went on nice and easy, no wrinkles, and I was very careful to make sure that I went around all of the details with the paper. All of the curves are absolutely covered and it looks flawless and beautiful. I gave the entire piece a thorough coating with a crosshatch method to seal it in, and I let it sit overnight to make sure that it was completely dry. Came back in the next morning with a brand new sharp razor, and I cut my edges to free my drawers up. I used my detail hand sander to clean up the edges. Sanding is the best way to clean up the overage of your decoupage. It just comes off so smooth and easy and leaves a very clean line. It's time to get the base layer of the blend down, and I am using Dixie Belle's Palmetto and Dixie Belle Mermaid Tail. The Mermaid Tail is the more turquoisey color, and the Palmetto is the green, and I am going to merge these two colors together. And you just have to trust this process. It may not look like it's going to go, but I can promise you, knowing how this turned out, it actually looks really, really fabulous. So the first layer of the blend is not supposed to look good. It's supposed to look a mess, and don't worry about it. It's not supposed to be blended. It's supposed to be kind of sharp edges. It's not supposed to be blended at all. You're kind of just getting the colors where you want the blends to be. So you do have to picture it a little bit in your mind, but it'll evolve as you go with the next step. The second layer of the blend is much more intentional. I am using brushes to apply color, and I'm also using brushes to pounce, blend, and pull color off. You'll see me switching back and forth, stepping back to look at it. I want the blend to seamlessly flow, and I want it to be a transition that isn't sharp, that doesn't stand out, that just looks so perfectly imperfect. Everybody blends differently. This is just how I do it. I love how this is looking, and I'm going to finish getting my second layer on the entire piece. When you're doing this, take your time, step back often, and take it in as a whole. That's the key to seeing your blend and seeing if you see lines or a seam or anything that's going to disrupt your creative vision of it. You can see it by stepping back. So step back, take a look. You're doing great. The bigger the area to blend, the scarier it can be. So just break it down into sections and start moving it all the way around. And remember, a water mister is your best friend when it comes to blending. That helps keep everything fluid and moving and just meshing together seamlessly. I mixed up a custom color trying to match it to the background of my decoupage paper, and using the custom color, the mermaid's tail, and the palmetto, I am going to do the same thing on the edges of these drawers. This is what gives the illusion that It's not just something in the middle of it. It's intentionally there. It fans out. The whole thing is a piece of art. Take your time, have fun. Don't worry about it. Blending is scary, but once you do it and you see how good you are at it, it is so much fun. And you really are good at it. You're a rock star. Give yourself credit and confidence because look what you can do. Look at this blend. Look at how beautiful everything just seamlessly goes into each other. And if it's not bright enough for you, wait for it to dry and go over it again. You can layer your blend to build up the depth of the color, which I love. I'm going to finish the front with my colors and finish this piece up because it is looking so good. The peacock is really standing out on this.
Several song-filled hours later.
For the top, I'm just going to go over the Algonquin color, some Rust-Oleum glaze. I'm going to get one coat on it, and then using a corn husk broom, I am going to drag that back and forth through that glaze. It creates this amazingly soft brushed look. The striations look fabulous. It's exactly the finish this piece needs. You guys voted and I listened, and I'm so glad you picked the peacock because I think this really came out amazing. This was definitely out of my comfort zone using those bolder colors that I just wasn't sure how it was going to translate. And as always, I should know not to second guess my gut and my instinct because I think it came out beautiful. I love the transition throughout of the light to dark. I kept it simple. I didn't pile on a lot more. Knowing when to stop is very important, and I knew that this was all this piece needed. I love the peacock. I think it's beautiful. It came out gorgeous. I am thrilled, and I can't believe it sold before it was even done. The lady who brought the frog dresser came to pay for it, and she saw this and asked who it was for and took it on the spot, not even finished. So it's finished exactly as I told her it would be. We did that gorgeous, simple pottery bound finish on the top, which I think was perfect. I didn't want to use the graining tool. That's too much for this piece. This one just needed that. And as far as the hardware goes, once again, I decided to keep it with its original aged patina. Anything too brassy and flashy on the front of this, I think, would have honestly ruined the look I was going for. So keeping it exactly as it is in its exact age, I think it looks amazing. This has been a crazy weekend here for me. I literally sold every single piece of finished furniture in my studio. That doesn't mean I'm out of finished furniture. It just means I now have room to bring that up as well as new pieces. And man, do I have some exciting things coming. Some decoupage and transfers that are going to be over the top to die for, that you are not going to want to miss. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I would love it if you would consider doing so now. Smash that notification bell so you'll never miss an upload. Give this video a like. That actually helps me keep videos coming to you. So if you like what you see, definitely give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time on the flip side. Look at how good this came out.